What do you get when you combine winged sprint cars, a former Miss Knoxville Nationals, a guy who's most happy with dirt in his beer, and a radio studio no one will use? Winged Nation.
Presented by Hercules Tire.
On MRN.com. Now, here are Steve Post and Kendra Jacob.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome in. It is MRN Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires here on MRN.com. So glad you joined us talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week. And alongside is Kendra Jacobs as the weeks continue. And good fun this week because I'm not going to even you've got all the whole sprint car world. You've got the sprint car world all twisted up and little tweet taunting along the way.
Well, I mean, you got to have fun with it, right?
Oh, it's fun. It's great.
And the PA posse we talk about all the time has blown it up.
Yes, they have.
So we're just going to blow it up back.
So we're going to talk a lot about that and really what's going on with you in Knoxville. It's so exciting. It really is. And we've got a great program for you. We're going to talk with Danny Smith. I mean, you want to talk about an incredible experience. I got to see Danny Smith win on Friday night.
And that's awesome. So if you add up all of his stats, a lot of people have seen him win.
Yes, indeed. You're right about
that.
that. I'm not alone, that's for
Danny
sure.
Smith win.
Yes, they have. Brian Brown joins us and Steve Sinclair from the IRA. And I kind of want to talk, Kendra, about this. And I actually want to tie something together here a little bit. This past weekend, USCS rolled through the Carolinas. This has become just one of my favorite weekends. I sleep in my own bed and see sprint car racing, so I feel like a little bit like Pennsylvania guys, you know what I mean? But this USCS bunch is just such a really good group of people. I mean, they're just good folks is who they are. I mean, from Pete Walton, who runs the deal, to all the drivers, all the crew, they love having MRN there. And we kicked it up this past Friday night at Carolina Speedway. We took some camera folks for our MAV TV show, for our YouTube stuff here that we do on MRN, and we took some camera folks out there. Well, they all fell in love with it too now.
I love that.
And it's just so cool. And then to hit on a night when Danny Smith wins. I mean, it was
someone
just,
that they've heard us talk about.
Right,
They've seen him on video. They know, and then they get to see that
right.
live.
And all you have to do is say 42 consecutive years, with the exception of maybe Pat, and this is no offense to Pat, our lead video guy. 42 years, I believe, is probably older than our entire video crew. So, in other words, this guy's been winning sprint car races for longer than our video crew is together. But Kendra, what it really kind of struck me as is spreading the sprint car gospel. And we talk about that a lot in here in various ways, whether it's tweet your seed or whatever it is. But on Friday night, and it's through work that we did it, we took 4 new people, I think it was, or 3 new people to sprint car races. Okay, maybe 2, because Donald might have been at the World Finals as well. Maybe 2 or 3. But to a person, they loved it. They really enjoyed working the sprint car race and having a good time. And so it's just so much fun to spread it. And now you walk around the aisles and there's a few more sprint car fans here at MRN. And I got some great video. Next week on the MAV TV show, we're going to have Danny Smith on, and it's got some great video and great stuff. It just was a great experience.
So there was none of the, this is dirty.
No, not at all. Not from this gang. No.
There's nothing more frustrating than taking someone to a dirt race and they're like, what did you think was going to happen?
Yeah, exactly. Tony got up in the flag stand.
Nice.
Yeah, he shot stuff from the flag
cool.
stand. Exactly. So, I mean, it was just really, really cool. And it's kind of a message that we've talked about, but and we'll talk about it in Knoxville this week with the opener. Pennsylvania, I know your opener has passed. Grab somebody who's never been to a sprint car race, for God's sake, and take them to it.
Yes. I mean, that's the key, right? It's like it's fun to go with your friends that have been going for years, but bring someone new. It's like taking a kid to Disney World for the first time, right? Like you see it through their eyes again.
No doubt. That's what it was.
And to like spread that addiction to other people and get their excitement going, it just brings a whole new level to a weekend.
It really does. I'm telling you, you take someone new to Knoxville this Saturday night, and they're going to love it.
And there's nothing like feeling like an expert about something.
Exactly.
You know, it's like they ask you
21, that's Brian Brown.
Yeah, I know that. Let
Brownie.
me tell you how this works.
I know Brownie. Exactly. You know, take someone Friday night to Attica. Take someone, hey, you guys, you have somebody that you hang out in the bar with, take them to Beer Hill on Friday night.
Definitely.
They ain't never seen a bar like that. I'm telling you what, that's, but we have such good stuff right now. You know, I just feel like with the sprint car world, the racing is good. The shows are good. The efficiency is good. Everything is good. let's start taking some folks and showing it to them and sharing it with them. You know, I mean, because it is really a good, viable form of entertainment. There's no better way to spend a Friday or Saturday night than at a dirt track. We know that. Why not share it with everyone else? And that was the fun part about being out there at USCS. It was just so much fun seeing it through new folks' eyes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they were just all ate up with it. I mean,
especially when they enjoy it that much.
Yeah. It was good.
And it sounded like the racing was good.
Racing was decent, no doubt about it. I mean, it was good stuff. It really was. Friday night was decent. Saturday night, it got a little bit long. I've got to be honest
it was
with
cold.
you.
It was chilly, too.
It was cold. 47 degrees and 20-minute intermissions.
Those people in Pennsylvania are like, wow, 47 degrees.
I know. I used to have that thick blood like you guys do. Now I've got the thin blood. So anyhow, but good fun. Take friends to the racetrack. It's really cool. Let's take a look at our Valco Racing Wheels results page. Another big story from this past weekend was Sunday night, Susquehanna Speedway. Hashtag Make Susky Great is what Colton Gauss has been using.
And he's doing it.
Cha-ching, you can check that off already. Greg Hodnett, 4th win of the season. I think Hodnett's 4 wins, and I think I saw 18 races.
That's so cool.
I mean, at that pace, I mean,
it's just a couple weeks ago we were talking about there's so many different winners in
Yeah.
Pennsylvania.
Well, there's so many different winners, and
definitely
Hodnett.
rising to the top of that.
The big story out of this one, and I know Pennsylvania has already crowned Lance Deweese and Donnie Kreitz the new dream team. Okay,
It is
no
a
reason
great combination
to believe this is not a great team. Okay, and they had a great race, 13th to 2nd. Okay, this is going to be a fun team to watch. Is it going to be Fred Raymer, Stevie Smith good? I don't know. It has the potential. Hall of Fame, former driver, owner, legendary race car driver that struggled a little bit. Look at Stevie Smith before Fred. Stevie had kind of been down on his luck a little bit.
Yep.
And then Lance has had a rough couple of years. I mean, he won a World of Outlaw race at the Grove 2 years ago. But when you look at it, it matches up the same way. But they've got to perform on the racetrack. One race in, they performed really well. And they had everyone talking. There's no doubt about it. And to see that light blue number 69 car going from 13th to 2nd. He was all over Hodnett at the end of it, so really good night. So stay tuned. The Lance Deweese, Donnie Kreitz, 1 race in, it's really good. 3-4 races in, if they keep performing like this, then maybe Pennsylvania's got another dream team, which is just what they need because they don't have enough good teams up there anyhow.
And it rained all weekend.
Yeah,
so
they
no
had it
other
all.
racing in Pennsylvania until Sunday at Susky. So very, very cool for Colton
Yeah.
that he got that opening night in. And it seemed like everyone was so hungry for it by then. And that's just going to build the rest of the year there.
Really cool. It really was. Balance of the top 5, Blaine Heimbaugh, Lucas Wolf, and Adam Wool up there at Susquehanna Speedway. ASCS Regional Racing, the winners were Seth Bergman, Aaron Reitzel, and Andy McKellanan. 410 Sprint Racing, Brad Loyette won at St. Francis County. Skyline, Corey Crabtree won over Danny Smith. Okay, how about this? Roger Crockett picked up a win out west. Dusty Zomer picked up a win at I-80 Speedway.
He got
so,
the big one.
Yeah, exactly. So, but really the big story, unfortunately, Kendra, last weekend is rain. Listen to this. 2 for the World of Outlaw Craftsman Sprint Cars. The entire National Sprint League, 410 and 360. Exactly.
That just scared me so bad.
You did. Kendra
I did. I just jumped so big.
Exactly. That's the graphic or the video or the audio. I'm trying to get it right. The audio we never want to use. Arctic Cat All-Star Circuit of Champions, Williams Grove, Port Royal, Lincoln, Jacksonville, Illinois, Atomic, Mercer, and Wayne County. They had the same winner, rain.
Yes.
So get it out of the way because this weekend looks good.
We talked to Shane Stewart this week on
For our
Wayne
MAV
Nation,
TV show,
presented by
exactly.
Sage Fruit,
Yes.
and he talks about what a rough rain out it was
Bless their
at
hearts.
Calistoga.
Bless their hearts at Calistoga.
Yeah.
You had
Dave Abreu and Abreu Vineyards
wine
taking care of
and
you. I'm
TV
sure it was a
and
rough 2 nights
motocross and
off.
everything. Bless their hearts to those of you. Well, I've been following the Sides Boys on Twitter and Facebook.
The adventures of the Sides brothers.
Bless their hearts too. I mean, if it's not sitting around drinking, it's fishing, and sometimes
Those
it's
two
both.
they are like sibling goals.
Yeah, we had sibling day a couple of days ago.
They're so fun.
Yeah, indeed. So really, really cool stuff. And so there you have it. Limited racing this past weekend. The Valco Racing Wheels results page. Valco Racing Wheels, made by racers for racers. www.valco.com. Another significant day today is your birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
What is this,
28 all over again.
28? Wow. How about that?
Yeah.
28 years old. So, I mean, that's so exciting. It really is. So, Danny Smith you were a negative 14 when Danny Smith started winning. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with
we'll
that.
just keep that one.
We'll go with that one.
Just call that official.
All right. Well, speaking of Danny Smith, we need to step away. He will join us next, the legend Danny Smith, here on Wing Nation.
Hey, this is Jason Sides, and you're listening to Steve and Kendra on Wing Nation here on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Racers, that's who Valco wheels are. That's who they know, and racing is what they know. Valco Wheels focuses oval track and grassroots racing, and understand racers need a quality wheel that fits your budget. With over 25 years experience, Valco Wheels produces the best product and give you face-to-face support and customer service at the track. Fast delivery, innovative products, problem solving. Find Valco Wheels at Valco.com on Twitter or Facebook, or call Valco Wheels at 609-758-7013. Valco Wheels.
2 big nights of racing every week at the all-new Jackson Motorplex in Jackson, Minnesota. 3 classes of sprint cars. The NSL 410s, the GoMuddy.com NSL 360s, and the Race Saver 305 sprint cars. Tackle the big half-mile Friday nights starting on May 13th with the Fulkin Brothers Spring Nationals. Be at the all-new Jackson Motorplex every Friday night this summer, and mark your calendars now for the 38th running of the Jackson Nationals, September 2nd through 4th.
O'Reilly. Improve visibility and save $8 instantly when you replace your worn wiper blades with a pair of Bosch Icon wiper blades at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Get premium blades that ensure clear vision in any weather and save $8 instantly on a pair of Bosch Icon wiper blades at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You're listening to Wings Nation on MRN.com. Talking more dirt, here's Steve and Kendra.
Welcome back. We are having a great time. Hey, follow along on Twitter at Wing Nation. Appreciate Brad Doty with the shout out on a little weight loss here.
Yes.
It's been great.
Steve, you look fantastic.
I'm loving life. I really
I like
am.
how he related it to going across the scales,
Going across the scales. Brad says I need to add a little bit more ballast as we go across the scales. No, I'll add ballast one pork tenderloin at a time come August.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
We will deliver those.
Yes, indeed. So going to be great, that's for sure. Hey, a guy that certainly knows a thing or two about going over the scales because he's done it so many times in his life. He joins us on the Hercules Tire Hotline. He's on the Classic Inc. pole position, fresh off a great weekend of racing, including a win on Friday night. Danny Smith's on the line. Hello, Danny. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me back.
Well, I'll tell you what, Danny, you gave the sprint car world a lot to talk about this week. The win on Friday night, 6th on Saturday at Lancaster, 2nd at on Sunday up in Ohio at Skyline. Wow, congratulations. A great weekend for you.
Yeah, turned out pretty good. What looked like a freeze out in Ohio turned into a win in North Carolina. So, yeah, wasn't too bad. It's, for us, here in Chillicothe, it's a 6-hour drive, not too bad. So, made a little trip and had some fun and got us a win.
Was that the plan all along to go down to North Carolina, or was that a weather decision?
That was weather, with everything canceling out here. Probably Wednesday. I knew that race was going on, and Pete Walton had shot me a text from USCS reminding me they were racing. And once they canceled everything around here, we took off.
Well, really, really cool getting down here to race. when you race with and you've ran 6 or 8 times with USCS, what are some of the things when you race with a new group of guys, Danny? You race around Ohio and you know everybody, you know what this one's going to do, you know what that one's going to do. What are some of the challenges with racing with a new bunch of racers?
Yeah, some of the guys, you just don't know their characteristics, but after a couple laps, you kind of figure out what's going on, and the racetrack, you get to the racetrack that we've never been to and take a look at it, compare it to somewhere we've been to, and kind of make a educated guess. So, yeah, racing's racing, no matter where you're at or who you're against.
So what did these tracks compare to? If you had to equate them to something back in Ohio or something you've ran on before, what did these two tracks, what were the similarities?
Friday night track there was, it seems like the Carolinas have unique tracks, southern style tracks. You have the red dirt.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of them has the red dirt. It's kind of when it's dusty, it's dusty. When it's it's wet, it's really tacky. So that track at Gastonia, it was probably the size of compared to an Ohio track. Of course, we went to Lancaster Sunday, and I'd never seen straightaways that long in quite a while. So I just kind of make a comparison. The Lancaster I compared to Lebanon Valley, New York. Really long straights, really tight corners. So we've raced there before, so we knew what to do.
No doubt. I hadn't thought about Lebanon Valley, New York. I was thinking the Grove, but the turns are wider. I mean, but Lebanon Valley probably is a little bit closer along the way. Danny, you have this incredible streak of 42 years. And I know, I was describing, so we were talking to somebody, and you're not really like a boastful guy, but yet there's a lot of pride in your streak of 42 years. Why does that, this sounds pretty dumb, why does that mean so much to you? Or how important is that to you to keep that streak alive and get it done early this year, too?
Yeah, it's just a personal stat that I'm pretty proud of, and not many guys could say that. I'd say I'm sure Sammy's won one every year, and he's been racing a year or two longer than I. So I probably got one of the longest winning streaks in the country going. And although it doesn't pay anything, it's just a personal pride deal. And I really wasn't aware of that. Kevin Eckert keeps all the stats, and years ago he sent a list to me of all the races I won, and I said I won one every year, and we'll just keep that streak going. And like I said, although it doesn't pay anything, it's just a personal pride deal.
So that leads me to believe that this is still a lot of fun for you. Has there been a moment yet where you've thought this just isn't fun anymore?
When you get behind the strap in and the push truck pushes you off, you hit the switch, it's always fun. Driving and working and getting tore up and standing in the mud and waiting to get in the pits. Yeah, it's all getting pretty old and pretty tiring. But the actual driving and taking the checkered flag, getting out and getting the trophy, that's still as fun as it gets.
And you did it again this past week. Twitter question, Steve Patterson writes in, and that's probably just lay it out there for you. How long do you see yourself continuing to race, Danny? Have you even thought about that, or what's the protocol for that?
I don't know. I'm just taking it, actually, I guess day by day and week by week or month by month. I don't know. As long as I can still enjoy it, can be competitive. I think the main thing is be competitive. I'll keep doing it as long as my body will let me. And there's really nothing in writing to say when I'm going to hang it up or how long I'm going to race. As long as I enjoy it and it's fun, we'll keep doing it.
So in all these years of racing, 42 years of straight wins, is there a track that you would consider your nemesis? Just one that just still like twists in you that you just can't figure out?
Well, not really. There's, I got my favorite tracks, and when I was young and Raver and Dick Tracy, Eldora was my favorite track by far. Now that I'm a little older and been broken up a few times, and now that I'm a car owner, there's a lot to do with it. Eldora is not my favorite track to go to race, but it's still my favorite track to watch at. No, racetrack's to me, and some nights they're just better than others, but just enjoy it. Well, I don't know why. Some people were born to be politicians, and some were born to do this and that, and I guess I was just put on this earth to drive race cars.
So you're saying you're not going to throw your hat into the ring for the presidency this year? I've heard there's still some seats open.
I was just watching that on the news. It's like watching the Saturday morning cartoons. It's pretty hilarious.
It really is.
I mean, I would bet you'd get a really good voting contingent out there. People would really vote for Danny Smith for president.
I don't know. That'd be a little bit too much pressure for me. I'd have to shorten the work week and make a couple more days on each end of the weekend to make more racing, I guess.
Well, you just got my vote.
Probably a lot of people wouldn't go for
I love that.
We have representing the Democrats, representing the Republicans, and representing the Wing Nation party is Danny Smith. More racing, yeah. We are all about that. Danny, when you look at your season coming up, what's kind of your game plan, your big picture game plan for this season as far as where you're going to be racing on a regular basis and what the plan is?
Quite a bit of racing in Ohio this year with the addition of that new series, the OFC. There's another 20 races that are available. So I did set up a schedule as the schedules came out, and I tallied it up yesterday, and I thought, I'll probably have a 50-race schedule, and I wrote down the dates and highlighted the ones I want to run, and it's like 75 races. So,
wow.
And most of them are here in Ohio, so I'm not going to do a lot of travel. Hit a few of the midweek outlaw shows during the year. Stay away from the outlaw shows on the big half miles when my budget doesn't let me compete with them engine-wise. And like I said, with a lot of races here in Ohio, we're going to have a full schedule. Stick around home a little bit here. My nephew works his butt off for me, and I don't pay him much, but I got him a race car, and he's going to get to race about 20 times this year. So that's kind of it. Pick and choose, kind of, and stick close to home. But if there's a night we want to head off and go racing, we can do that too.
Man, it's a good situation, that's for sure, and a real thriller for all of us to get a chance to watch you wheel that car this weekend down here in the Carolinas. Danny, congratulations on the win. Congratulations on really a great weekend across the board. And as always, thanks for your time joining us here on Wing Nation.
All right, guys, thanks for having me, and we will see you at the racetrack somewhere down the road.
No doubt about it. See you at the racetrack. There we go. That is Danny Smith. So he's piecing together a schedule and it comes up to 75.
Yeah. I remember when people used to complain about, oh, my gosh, it's a 90-race schedule. It's crazy. Now we've got guys that are like, not running much, just 75. And then you've got guys like Clausen are like, I'm trying to do 200.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't. There's no balance. It's either I'm going to take a break, which is still a lot, or I'm going full go, which is a lot.
What I love and respect about what Danny does is he races where his budget afford. Yes, if Danny Smith had the budget, he'd love to be out there on the World of Outlaw Tour slugging it out with those guys. We get that. We understand that. But where he's racing out now, going to focus and do some racing in the Ohio area, going to do some atomic, I'm sure, along the way, coming down and run USCS. You can still race. You can still make a few bucks. You can still run up front and win races and have fun doing it. That's the most important thing is have fun doing it.
And you can just tell from talking to him, he's like, it's not about the money. It's when,
gotta pay the bills,
you get in that seat.
But in that seat, and when you take the checkered flag and the trophy, that's when he really.
I'm beginning to think sprint car seats are magical because even when you talk to people who are injured, they're like, yeah, once I get in that seat, I don't feel anything.
Yeah, exactly.
It really is like that.
Well,
it's
Danny,
like,
remember a couple years ago, he broke his back, for Pete's sake.
Yeah, and McCarl breaking his back last year. He's like, once I was in the car, I don't feel anything.
I was fine.
These guys aren't on painkillers.
No.
They're worried about budgets. They're worried about, can I keep doing this? But once they're in the seat.
Maybe that's our Wing Nation healthcare platform. Yeah. Just get everyone a sprint car seat.
Everyone needs a sprint car seat.
Everyone needs. We'll forget all about deductibles
I wonder if
and everything
else.
else.
Tempur-Pedic or something. We just didn't know it.
This whole Wing Nation party, we've got something going.
Seats.
We've got something going here with this Wing Nation
Danny
party.
Smith for president.
Yes, indeed. Woohoo! Hey, we need to step away. When we come back, our campaign manager, Brian Brown, will join us next. Stay with us, everyone.
I'm Danny Holcraver, and you're listening to Wing Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Classic Ink USA Screen Printing and Embroidery is constantly testing the limits of custom racewear and specialized embroidery. Headquartered in Western Pennsylvania, Classic Ink holds the highest standard, maximizing your return as well as the ultimate customer satisfaction. From track swag fanwear to quick crew wear, Classic Ink has you covered. Their dedicated staff and designers will keep your race team and fans looking sharp. Contact Classic Ink today and get your team ahead of the competition. www.classicinkusa.com. That's Classic Ink at the track and on your back.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there, whether you're running on dirt or running a job. Our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice: Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
Hi, I'm Marty Huff. Join me and 10-time NHRA National Event winner Doug Herbert for 1 hour of horsepower Thursdays at noon on the Straight Line. We'll talk to the biggest names in NHRA drag racing and keep you up to date with news from the pits, tracks, and shops across the country. Join us Thursdays at noon for the Straight Line, streaming live on the MRN app, the Motor Racing Network's YouTube channel, and on MRN.com.
I'm Stevie Smith, now back to Wing Nation and Steve and Kendra.
Welcome back. We are having a great time. Thanks for joining us here on MRN Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tire. Need to mention that Danny Smith joined us. He was on the Classic Ink pole position. Classic Ink, screen printing and embroidery. Great for all your race car driving and other sports, schools, specialty events. You can find out more information at classicinkusa.com. That's www.classicinkusa.com. Let's go back to the Hercules Tire hotline. Joining us now from the home base of Missouri, Brian Brown's on the line. Hello, Brownie. Welcome back to the show.
Oh, good to be here. I'm surprised to hear you on here today, Postman. I figured you'd be out ironing Dietrich's laundry or doing something like that.
Whoa, man,
love
a
it.
shot from Missouri on that. Yeah.
I love it because he's so right.
No, oh, come on, man crush.
People are already planning your double D tattoo you're getting
Yeah, I
this
know.
year.
So, yeah, that's a disturbing thought right there. Exactly. I mean,
on a side note, I've been seeing you on TV, Postman. You're looking slim and trim, my man.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you. You're looking good.
I am loving life. This is a challenge for a guy that eats. You know, Brownie. I mean, I've made my whole life out of eating, and now it's eating healthy. And I appreciate you saying that. And if I look decent, I feel better than that. It's just a fantastic thing. And you know, Brownie, you stay in pretty good shape along the way. Really, it makes life, especially as a race car driver, you've got to be conditioned to go drive these cars.
Yeah, you sure do. And, you know, I think more and more, you know, you see guys, you know, say, hey, I really worked hard this winter, you know, to stay in shape or to get into better shape. And, you know, you see usually the guys that are running real well. And, you know, I know Joey, you know, I've been on, or I've heard of him on your guys' show where he's, you know, did the CrossFit and different things. And just, I think more than anything, it just takes another variable out. You know, you buy the best engines you can get, the best tires you can get the best crew you can get. And if you go out there as a driver and you're not physically able to do the job come crunch time late in the race, or you get wore out and you get mentally wore out, it's like having an engine that's not working properly. So you got to do your part, you know, as the driver to make sure you're ready to go every single week.
So what kind of exercise or workout training do you do? Are you into the CrossFit stuff too?
No, I'm not. I actually I'm pretty simple. I just try to do some sort of cardio 3 or 4 times a week at the gym, and then, you know, just some weight training. But I'm no maniac. My wife is into a place called 9 Rounds, and she's got me to go there a couple of times. But it's I don't know. It's a little bit more over the top than I like to be. I kind of like to do my own thing when I go there and get in and get out.
No doubt. I understand that totally. Brian, opening night at Knoxville. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, it means a lot. You know, it brings up, you know, early a lot of memories of, you know, growing up as a kid there. And, you know, it's almost like, you know, December 24th, you know, Christmas Eve, waiting on Santa to come. Really, you know, you've waited all year long. And, you know, especially when I was a kid, you know, you see all the races going on around the country. And then, you know, you're waiting for that, you know, middle of April when you can get to Knoxville and see some racing. And, you know, I think Knoxville just, you know, this year, even as much as probably more than any, you know, with Kendra and Spire coming on, and you know, really just seems like it has a lot more buzz now than normal going into an opening weekend. And I think the things they're doing with their marketing and things they have going, I think it's very, very good for our sport. And, you know, when you go there on Saturday night, you know, everybody in the world that's watching sprint car racing is going to know who won Knoxville opening weekend. And I think it's a very key component to getting off on the right foot, and reaching your goals. And obviously, the main goal and the goal at the end of the pedestal is the Knoxville Nationals.
First of all, thank you for saying that. I appreciate it and hope that buzz continues. But when I look back at your stats, it's been 13 years since your first win at Knoxville with Lonnie Parsons. What was it like to finally stand in victory lane at a track you were raised at, watching your uncle win at? And then I remember a few years ago, it seems like a few years ago, when you went there and you started on the front row for the Knoxville Nationals. It just kind of had to be a surreal feeling that you were the big dog finally there.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that. I mean, we've definitely had some good luck there, and we ran well at times. Yeah, but to answer your first part of your question, it's so hard to explain what it's like to. There's no better feeling than coming off turn 4 and seeing Doug Clark waving those checker flags, and then when you get in your vehicle when you're heading home, it's just like it's like scoring the winning goal or doing whatever as a kid or hitting a home run. It's just I've won a lot. I think we won over 160 races in our life, but really those ones at Knoxville, we won 30 or something there, really stand out to me of you just have a lot more sense of pride that, Knoxville, you can go there and win Knoxville. I feel like you can go anywhere in the country and win. And those wins really, really stand out to me. And, to being on the front row of the 50th Annual Knoxville Nationals was just, we hadn't really ever been what I felt like in contention there. We've for so many years just begged, can we please just make the show at the Knoxville Nationals? And we're able to do that. Next thing you know, we're on the pole of the 50th Annual. If nothing else, it just kind of gave not only me but our team a shot in the arm to think, you know what, we're not just a field filler at this time. We have a legitimate shot to win this race. And I think it just took our team to the next level. And I think that's kind of catapulted us to where now when we go to that race, we feel like if we do our job on Thursday night, we have a great opportunity to win the Knoxville Nationals.
Indeed, and I think it's amazing. To me, one of the things that amazes about the sport, you just mentioned, take it to the next level. Brownie, as we look at this year in and year out, you win races. You picked up here recently, been winning World of Outlaw races. Of course, you win at Knoxville and everything like that. How tough is it, though, to stay on that edge and to decide where to step over the edge and go somewhere and try something or try something a little bit different? How do you stay on the edge as a top team in sprint car racing?
It's always evolving. That's the thing. And we every single year when you get to the winter time, you look at your team and say, okay, do we have a good year? Do we have a bad year? And where are the holes in our team? Where are we good at? Where are we bad at? And, this year, we got to the winter and we looked ourselves in the mirror and said, we just didn't do a good job all the way around of making good decisions at the track with myself driving and with the some of the decisions we made and what components do we need to change to make our team better. And we made a shock change over the winter time and decided to go the factory cane route. And I think so far it's paid off real well. We ran a qualified well with the Outlaws, led some races with the Outlaws, and been in contention to really win pretty much every race we felt like we've been to. So you've always sometimes you got to step out of your comfort zone and try different things to try to get better. And a lot of times those things work and a lot of times those things don't. And you got to know as a team, okay, we've tried enough stuff and we're kind of getting off base. Where is home base? And that's what's good about Knoxville. I mean, you can go back in my notebook and we're doing the same things to our car and things like that we did in 2005. So that's the good thing is as the tires have changed and the wings have changed, we still have got that comfort level of what I need to go fast at Knoxville, and that's a good feeling. And like I said, we can't wait to get there this weekend. We're going to test there Friday and try to work out a few bugs, things we want to try. So when we hit the ground on Saturday, we're going to have guns a-blazing.
Yes, so I've got to ask the question that a lot of people ask, and they must just be afraid to ask you because no one seems to ask you on Twitter, but we get all the time. A fully funded sprint car team, someone with the talent level of Brian Brown, anyone else would say, I'm taking this money and going full-time World of Outlaw, but you've chosen not to do that. Is that ever in the back of your mind of, okay, I'm going to do this at some point?
Yeah, I mean, I really, as a driver, like I would love to go compete with those guys night in and night out. But as a team owner, I think you have to look at it is you're going to have a budget to be able to go and do this or to go race with those guys. You better figure on, in order to go out there and compete and win and race for a championship, you better figure it's a 3 to 5 year plan. I mean, you look at the math of what took Donnie Schatz, took Jason Myers. Nobody goes out there and just beats them or competes for the championships their first year. And where we're at team-wise, right now I just don't feel like it makes sense for us to commit 5 years of our racing career to go do that when a lot of our partners are based, Midwest based with, FVP and Casey's General Stores, and really every single partner we have is based out of the Midwest. And really, a lot of those people, I feel like they're a part of our team because what we can do as far as the marketing side of it. But a lot of them are a part of our team because they want to see their car race every night, or at least a couple of times a year. And you travel with the Outlaws, and it doesn't do us any good to be in Volusia, Florida, when you can't leave the track and go to a Casey's and get a pizza, or go to a dealership and buy a FEP battery. It just doesn't make sense. So that's really the main reason. And if our sponsors came to us and said, you know what, we did this for a couple of years, and now we'd like to go on the Outlaw Tour, and we feel like we have the funding to do it, we would definitely look at it. But right now, it just as a driver, I would love to do it, but as an owner, I just don't think it makes sense. But I get that question a lot, and it's a very, very good question.
All right, Brownie. Well, as we get set to kick it off this year, what else do you have planned this weekend? Are you racing anywhere else, or what's the plan for the weekend?
Yeah, actually, we have on Sunday we're bringing the sprint cars back again to the State Fair in Sedalia with an ASCS race. It pays $5,000 to win. Impact Signs, Awnings, and Wraps, they're the sponsor of that race, and so we'll be going there on Sunday afternoon, which is going to be a daytime show, so that'll be interesting. But really, that's all we got this weekend. Really, we've had this week kind of marked on our schedule for a while of just ready to get back to Knoxville. The weather looks great. I see everybody's tweeting their seat and really excited about coming out and enjoying it. Like I said, I'm a fan first and foremost, and really it doesn't take me much to get me excited. But Knoxville on opening weekend, it's like it's awesome, and I can't wait. And we're here at the shop with my guys and Chad Morgan and Wyatt Burks, Michael Williams, working really, really hard to make sure we take the best piece possible to opening night, and hopefully maybe be back on your show next Tuesday.
There we go. Brownie, we certainly wish you the best. We appreciate your time, and we'll be following along. I know Kendra will be out there, but we'll be following along and see how you do this weekend at Knoxville and then at Sedalia on Sunday.
All right, Postman. You still love me, right?
I still love you. Even with the Danny Dietrich crack, I still love you. Yep, like a brother.
I did that. I gave you a Dietrich crack, but then I came back with how nice you're looking.
I see how you do this. I see how you do it. I see how this works.
He's
exactly. Good. That's smooth, no doubt about it. I still love you. A little bit of a man crush there, too. How about that?
All right, but I'm a little better looking than Dietrich. I don't know about you guys, but I think I am anyway.
We'll just not comment on that.
Maybe we need to fire up the Twitter machine with that one.
We'll do a Twitter poll.
We'll do a Twitter poll.
If you like bigger guys, you can go with Dietrich.
No doubt.
This is just another Knoxville versus PA thing.
Dietrich and I have compared pizza joint and beer drinking before, so we have compared those before. So
Dietrich's my buddy, so I can get away with saying those things.
I have a feeling that Dietrich will fire back on Twitter, so we're going to see something.
I'm sure he will.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, Brian.
Take care, guys.
You got it. That is Brian Brown joining us and getting set up for the season opener at Knoxville Raceway. Right off from turn number 2, of course, one of our favorite spots, the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum. And let's talk about birthdays. Kendra, one thing I find ironic, he's not a Hall of Famer, but he's a Hall of Fame kind of guy. His birthday is 4/10, is Casey Kane's birthday.
To be born on 4/10 day is pretty impressive.
His
cool. Parents were very thoughtful planning that out like that.
Absolutely. Burton's birthday's today, Newton Buzz Rose. Tomorrow it'll be Larry Boom Boom Cannon and Leroy Van Connet. Earl Wagner, Joey Chitwood Sr., Donnie Adams Sr., and Peter DePaulo have birthdays along the way.
And I just want to say I missed yesterday a big happy birthday to my second mother, Kathy Kaufman.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
The man from Mifflintown's better half.
Better half, exactly.
So everyone in PA. See, I don't hate PA. She's my second mom. Like I love Kathy Kaufman, and she had a big birthday.
Who doesn't like the man and the wife from Mifflintown?
Yeah, I mean, let me tell you, the man from Mifflintown had a lot of backing with that one.
Yes, he did.
She makes a lot of stuff happen over there, and I don't know a single person that doesn't like her.
Absolutely.
That says a lot.
No, you're right about that. You're absolutely right about that. Hey, Leroy Van Connet, his birthday is tomorrow, and he will be 81 years old tomorrow. Okay, he was known as the Dragon from Galt. He was the all-time win leader at Calistoga with 31, 7-time track champion there, 65 NARC wins, 8 championships with NARC, Gold Cup Race of Champions winner in 76, and this is really cool. Last year, he was the Grand Marshal for the Wine Country Classic at 80 years old. Coming up in May, King of the West is going to have a tribute to him at Stockton. It is the Leroy Van Connet tribute race at 81 years old, going strong.
You know, you don't always think of Calistoga or the California area as having a lot of racing sprint car history. But, Steve, the more we dive into these guys from the Hall of Fame, we're seeing a lot of it from California.
Absolutely. And you can find out more information at www.sprintcarhof.com. That's sprintcarhof.com. Stay with us. Steve Sinclair from the IRA going to join us next.
Hi, I'm Kyle Larson, and you're listening to Wing Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Aggressive Hydraulics, where we engineer the cylinders that move your business. We specialize in crafting hydraulic cylinders and components with superior precision and performance, making OEM products stronger and creating more opportunities for distributors and repair facilities. Crafting cylinders that operate on a global basis in a wide variety of industries and applications. Get aggressive with your cylinder challenges. Aggressive Hydraulics.
O'Reilly.
If you do-it-yourselfers are looking for the right tool for the job, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts Power Torque Tools DIY Day Sale. You'll find a wide selection of power torque tools on sale now and guaranteed for life. Power Torque Tools DIY Day Sale going on now at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Get all the reactions and latest word from the track immediately following each race weekend on MRN's Motorsports Monday with Woody Kane and Joey Meyer.
Johnny Sauter drives the number 21 Chevrolet Silverado.
You know, I didn't know that necessarily we'd win first race of the year.
Log on to MRN.com every Monday at noon Eastern or stream the program from the MRN Media Center on demand. It's MRN Motorsports Monday, only on the Motor Racing Network. You're listening to Winged Nation on MRN.com. Now here's Steve and Kendra.
Welcome back. We are having a great time. Let's go back to the Hercules Tire Hotline. Joining us, he is the lead guru for the IRA, and he holds, Kendra, I don't know if you knew this or not, he holds the longevity record at Boardwalk Billy's in Charlotte for holding down a table during a rain delay one time. They were there forever.
What? I'm like, wait a minute, is this a real record?
Oh, this is a real record. Steve Sinclair joins us. Hello, Steve. Welcome to Wing Nation.
How you guys doing?
So you have the record at Boardwalk Billy's, right?
Rainouts are always a bad thing.
Yes, they can be. I mean, they're bad for several reasons. Bad because there's no racing, and bad because that leads to a whole lot of trouble.
Yes, it does.
Well, Kendra, I was with several of your people at Knoxville that
bet
day,
you
so
were.
they were just as guilty as I am.
I bet you were, and I bet you did not egg that on at all.
I'm glad Rex from Attica was there to drive us all back home.
There you go. Yeah, I think Rex is the one that told me that some of the tables around they turned over 3 or 4 or 5 times in the whole process.
8 times.
8 times.
That is
Oh, wow.
awesome. That's a great rain-out plan right
That's
there.
a good record to hold
you just
right there.
Sit still and let the fun come to you.
It was World Finals this year. Yes.
That's
There
amazing.
we go.
I
That's
love it.
Outstanding. Steve, another thing we love is the 50th season of the IRA. Kicking off this weekend, a co-sanctioned race at LaSalle with MOA. How are things looking for you for this season?
I think they're looking great. Everybody that made the point fund last year is back.
Wow.
We got 40 guys that bought what I call a gold membership, and that means they're somewhat serious about racing quite a bit with us because it brings extra insurance and stuff to the package. So I'm excited. We've got 35 races, which is maybe too many, to be honest. I don't want to run these guys out of money, but I'm borderline doing that, I think. But no, it's great, and most of the races are close to home, so it's a good deal.
You know, a lot of guys, fans, kind of freaked out when Billy Baylog wasn't running full time, and they're like, he wins all the time, he's not going to be there. But really, it showcased all the talent that you have in that series, and saw a lot of parity last year.
Oh, wow, 20 different winners, 20.
That's amazing.
God.
So,
I would imagine the other drivers were pretty happy he wasn't there.
Well, I think they a lot of guys stepped up, and I think, I think if Bill was there, and I think he's going to be, Bill's going to be there probably 2/3 this year, from what I'm understanding. And I don't, Bill's a great racer, but I don't know that he'll be quite as dominant as he was. I don't think. I think these guys they stepped up their programs, they got used to running up front, and I think that experience is going to help.
You know, one of the things, Steve, and I was reading up on what you guys have going on, and I think last year we might have talked to you about how this series really features young stars and veteran guys and how good that is. You kind of have an interesting situation this year where you have Robbie Pibnow, Todd King, and Mike Kirchner, who are returning stars to you. So that's got to be a really neat deal to have these guys somewhere in the middle that are coming back and going to run more with you this year.
Oh, absolutely. And they're all capable of winning features.
Yeah.
You know, and there's several guys that run the bulk of our schedule, but maybe not run. They miss a few for whatever reason, so they're not championship contenders. You know, I guess I could say Baylog would be one of those, and Mike Ranke, Steve Meyer, Jordan Goldsberry, Scotty Beardsher. These guys are all guys that have won features in the past and are certainly capable of doing it again, but they may not be title contenders because they might miss, 4 or 5 shows throughout the course of the season.
You know, we talk a lot about Midwest racing, and we talk about how this benefits the drivers, and there's so many options now to go racing, and they can make a living off of staying there and not traveling the country. But from your point of view, as a promoter, as running the series, what has been like the fan reaction to all of this? I would imagine that they are really the ones winning here.
Absolutely. We, maybe I had it wrong for some years because we were, heck, at one point in time, I think we were up to 7 states in a season, and by bringing the thing back home again, where most of the teams are from, I would say our crowds were up last year, and in some cases up considerably. I think we got 27 races in, and I would say 26 were promoter profitable, which means it's easy to set your schedule the next year. And I think the only one that didn't do well was just a bad date choice. Was homecoming at the local high school and blah blah blah. But the rest of them all did very well, and I could have 50 races based on demand. I just, these guys are all blue-collar guys for the most part, and 35 is probably pushing it, to be honest.
Awesome problem to have.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have, that's for sure. This Saturday night, LaSalle getting a chance to hook up with the MOA folks. How did the co-sanction come about, and what's it like to work with another sanctioning body? How does that all work?
Well, Kenny Dobson is really easy to work with the MOA guys, and LaSalle was kind of always, I would guess, before they even existed, we had dates there. And when they came together, we kind of worked out a relationship where, I'm not going to try and undercut you in your territory, and please don't do that to me up here. And LaSalle is probably, I would say, it's our southern border, it's their northern border for where they go. And it works pretty well. It's pretty much an IRA show. It's kind of our format and everything. And they support me where needed, and I don't know how they point it. I'm not sure if it's full points for them or not. I know there's some points. It might just be show points. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But the guys seem to get along good, and their guys are the same kind of guys, the IRA guys are. They're working guys, and it's a good mix. It's a good mix. I think we're, I'm expecting, let's say, between 15 and 20 of each group to go down to that show. So we'll be pushing 40 cars, and and most of the guys will be members of one or the other.
Man,
that's great.
That's fantastic.
Steve, something that pretty much everyone who works in the industry knows about you, but the fans probably don't, is that you are pretty much the go-to expert about insurance for these tracks and these drivers and teams. Knowing that, for the drivers that are listening, especially the younger drivers that are just getting into it, what is the number one piece of advice that you would give these guys about insurance?
Well, it's a 3-part process per se. If something were to happen to any sprint racer, no matter what group you're racing with, what track you're at, it's all secondary insurance. What the tracks carry is secondary, and what the track limits, they vary from track to track. So the first thing it's going to go to is your personal insurance, and after that it would go to the track, and then after that, if you have you can get your own deal, your own personal extra medical policy, or a lot of the Premier Series have a member policy that provides insurance over the top of the other two. So it's kind of a 3-part process, but it's not that expensive to get your own, just to make yourself feel like you're really covered well. I think with you at Knoxville, they use that STIDA package, and Robbie Rice, Larry Rice's son, developed that. And it's pretty much provides. There's 3 different tiers of it. I think you can get $100,000 anywhere to $500,000 extra on top of what you already have, and it's good anywhere you run, no matter what group you're with. If you go to Australia, whatever, you're covered everywhere. And I think that's just a nice peace of mind for for a small investment. I think it's very smart to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unfortunate that we have to think about that in the
right.
sport, but it is something to think about, and I think a lot of people just don't know. It's one of those things where they don't know a lot about it, so they kind of avoid it. So having people like you that understand the sport and that side of it is really valuable for these young guys.
Yeah, I agree. The IRA guys understand it. I know they understand it because I preach it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's pretty neat. I've been doing this probably 8 or 9 years now, and getting to talk to a lot of the sprint car tracks, and we're friends, and educating them on how it works, and I think they pass that on to their racers, and I think it's a positive.
Yeah, it's something we don't like to talk about, but it's something that is so important at a critical time when we need to talk about it. So really cool, and it's great that you're out there doing that as well, Steve. We look forward to following along all season long with the great work that the IRA does, the great racing this year, 35 races. Starts on Saturday night at LaSalle Speedway in LaSalle, Illinois. Steve, thanks for your time. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me.
There we
See
go.
you guys down the road.
Yeah, we'll see you,
Yeah.
certainly. Yep, Steve Sinclair. I'm telling you, when you look at one of the good guys in sprint car racing and one of the more knowledgeable guys in sprint car racing on a lot of fronts, he's one of those guys that if you're a track, you're a driver, he's one of those guys, call up and just bounce some things off of him. He's a sharp guy.
He's been a great outlet for me to ask a lot of questions about, because, this is my first side
Out
on
at
the
Knoxville,
promoter
yeah,
side
exactly.
of the sport and working on the track side. So
Yep.
his knowledge is invaluable. And if you talk to anyone in the sport about who some of the most respected people are
No
in sprint
doubt
car
about it.
racing, his name is always on that list.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. He mentioned Bill Baylog, a reigning champ many times, not the reigning champ, many-time champion from the IRA Series. Bill is going to be our Kick It Person of the Week. This year, Bill has teamed up with the Midwest Athletes Against Childhood Cancer, MACC is the organization, and they are affiliated with the Medical College of Wisconsin, the MACC Fun Center at the Children's Hospital of Wisconsin, and the Fun Center at the research wing at the University of Wisconsin's Carbone Cancer Center. And what Bill is going to do this season, 5% of his race winnings, 10% of his merchandise are going to go to the Midwest Athletes Against Childhood Cancer. That is Jeff Gordon worthy right there.
Definitely. I mean, this is what we talk about, is using your passion and your love that puts you on a kind of soapbox. People are paying attention to what you're doing, and you're using it for good.
Absolutely. So congratulations to Bill Baylog. More in just a moment. Stay with us.
This is Wings Nation on MRN.com. Steve and Kendra will be right back.
The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa.
Honoring sprint car racing's greatest achievers.
25 historic sprint cars on display. A movie theater featuring sprint car racing films. And a breathtaking view of historic Knoxville Raceway. Go to SprintCarStuff.com for the largest sprint car gift shop on the planet. The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa.
The 25th year of the Lucas Oil American Sprint Car Series is about to begin.
Expanded national and regional tours, over 150 events across the United States, and some of sprint car racing's biggest names and rising stars.
The 25th anniversary of the Lucas Oil ASCS is one you don't want to miss. Find out when the American Sprint Car Series is near you in 2016 at ASCSRacing.com. Find us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter,
and catch all the action away from the track live at RacingBoys.com.
Hi, I'm Jeff Gordon. Did you know that 43 children are diagnosed with cancer each and every day? That more children die from cancer than any other disease? Athletes of all ages are dedicating their stats to change these stats, and you can too. Visit JeffGordonChildren'sFoundation.org to become a Kick It champion. No matter what sport, you can use your points, laps, or goals to change the odds for kids with cancer. Make your stats really count. Become a Kick It champion.
I'm Craig Kinzer. Now back to Wing Nation with Steve and Kendra.
Thank you, Craig. We appreciate it. Let's take a real quick look. Well, let's do this first off. Real quick, folks. I want to ask for your help. With an exchange, we're going to give you the chance to win your own Google Chromecast.
Hey.
How about that? Exactly. In an effort to give you the kind of web programming you want, we're asking you to take a quick online survey at www.mylistenerstudy.com. That's mylistenerstudy.com. The survey is completely anonymous, and will help us give you more of what you like. And don't forget to enter for the Google Chromecast. Again, that's mylistenerstudy.com, and we really do appreciate your feedback, and good luck on that. Let's take a quick look at the schedule coming up real quick. Knoxville Raceway opener. We'll talk about that in a minute here. World of Outlaws, Friday night at Bakersfield, Saturday night at Paris. Monday, yes, Monday in Tucson, Arizona. All-Star Circuit of Champions, 3 races. Attica, Wayne County in Ohio, Sunday, Bedford Speedway, and rumor is some of the posse is going to head west to tangle with the All-Star Circuit of Champions.
Really?
Yes.
The posse are leaving their porch.
Yes, they are leaving the porch.
I believe it when I
exactly.
see it.
But the porch will be busy Friday night at Williams Grove, Saturday night at the fabulous Lincoln Speedway. Upcoming National Sprint League, their next race is I-80 Speedway in Greenwood, Nebraska. Next race for the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour, May 5th at Lakeside Raceway in Kansas City, Kansas, and weekly 410 racing at Silver Dollar Speedway in Lernerville on Friday night. Atomic, Fremont, Mercer, and St. Francis on Saturday night. Kendra, folks, as you know, we've talked a lot about Kendra and what she's doing at Knoxville, and the good news is for Knoxville is they are getting her. The bad news is, and this is a temporary bad news thing for us on Wing Nation, is we are losing her here on Wing Nation. Now, the way this is going to work is these people are filling her seat because when she's available and back, it's her seat. But we will have Ashley Stremme taking over on the MAV TV show, and Aaron Evernham is going to be here each and every Tuesday. But Kendra, you're getting a chance to pursue your dream at Knoxville. The story is Spires Sports and Marketing is taken over. Spires Sports and Marketing is taken over to do all the marketing and promotion for the Knoxville Raceway, and you're going to oversee that effort.
I am, and I could not be more excited. A little nervous.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like the greatest dirt track in the entire world, and they're trusting me with a piece of that. So to say it's a little nerve-wracking would be an understatement. I just want to do well so badly for the drivers. You know, you heard Brownie say how much this place means to him, and it's like, gosh, you just want to make it so much. You want to keep it how it is, but then make improvements. And it's an exciting venture. It's going to be hard to leave this seat for 4 months. It's going to be hard.
It's all right. We're going to have you join us on our MAV TV show. We've got some fun plans over there, and we'll dial you up and talk to you every once in a while. We can follow along, of course, on social media. And speaking of social media, you have absolutely burned up our Twitter machine all week long with your Knoxville. You did not. The thing that's so funny is some of the posse folks are hacked off about it. You didn't call out the posse fans.
No, I
called
out
me
you. This love affair with Pennsylvania, and I get it because you're one of them.
Yeah,
I get
love
it.
the posse,
You're an honorary Beer Hill member.
Yeah.
You know, you get the Beer Hill hugger on board all the time. Like, you are one of them. I get it. There's a passion. But I know the passion in Iowa, and I've seen it firsthand. We just need them to show everybody else their passion.
Those of you in the posse that are hacked off about Kendra, she wants what you guys have there. And I should be the one hacked off because the man crush on Danny Dietrich. Now Brownie's all twisted up about it.
Well, you're getting the double D tattoo.
Yeah, no, I'm not getting the double D
I've been
tattoo.
taunted to get a posse tattoo, and I said, show me a posse winner at the Knoxville Nationals finale.
Whoa.
And maybe I'll do that. But I don't have to worry about it because it's never going to happen.
Never.
It's not going to happen.
Never going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
I think there's guys by the name of Dietrich, Marks, Hodnet, or Smith that
Bring
may have
it.
something to say about that.
Hey, I'll give them a top 5. I'll give them a podium, but they're not winning the Knoxville Nationals.
Whoa, how about that? Well, the way Shots is, who else is going to win?
Yeah, exactly.
So, Kendra, on a serious note, we just love this opportunity for you.
Thank
We're so
you.
excited. We're so proud of you here at Motor Racing Network, and this is going to be really, really cool. And we just can't wait to see what happens and can't wait for this next chapter of your life.
I can't wait for you guys to come out during Nationals. We still have our live show every night at Nationals, and we have so much fun out there.
We're going to be joined back up there and just have so much fun with it. It is really, really cool. So good stuff, no doubt about it. And it is
when I see you next, Steve, you're going to weigh like $105.
$105, that's right. Absolutely. $105. Hey, we have had a great time. We appreciate Danny Smith joining us, Brian Brown and Steve Sinclair joining us. And I'm not sure how much time we got left. I can't hear anything right now. So maybe we're not even on the air.
Let's just keep saying how much we love each
talking.
other.
Yeah, we'll just go right into slinging dirt.
We're going to start talking late models, which I won't know much about till September. Then I'm going to get a big education.
Nationals. Exactly. Hey, we need to step away. We appreciate your time. Oh, 30 seconds. Okay,
Oh,
there we go.
he is. He was
There
just
he is.
MIA for a
Yeah,
little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So we appreciate those guys joining us. But more important, let's have some fun this week with our Tweet Your Seats.
Oh, yeah. Keep
from
sending them, Knoxville. You're making me proud.
But I saw
Making
some
me
IRA
proud.
folks wanting to jump in a little
Oh,
bit, too. And
keep
Mo
trying.
folks, Posse fans going to jump in. It's across the board. Hashtag
Tweet your
seats. Absolutely. Hey, everyone, we appreciate you joining us here on MRN Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires.
You've been listening to the nation's premier winged sprint car radio program, Winged Nation. Tune in next Tuesday at noon for more talk from the dirt tracks. Winged Nation is also available on demand in the MRN.com Media Center or download from iTunes or Stitcher. Winged Nation is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.